Hey guys, it's Max. How's everybody doing here? The market, the bell's getting ready to ring in like 11 minutes. I just saw something kind of interesting. I saw somebody traded a big butterfly on an earnings trade that in its Restoration Hardware, and they have earnings after the bell today. All right, hang on here. Restoration Hardware. I put it in option strat. Okay, well, I was just looking under the flow summary and somebody did a gigantic trade. Where is it? I never even used the option. I'd never even used the tools here. You can go, let's see, flow summary. And then all I did, this is a pretty useful trick. I was looking for an earnings trade to do, and I did this trade. By the way, it's in Restoration Hardware. I just checked over here. I didn't know they did this. I just checked upcoming earnings. And then it was one of the three that showed up. This other one was PE&G was interesting too. But this one, look at this, is a $1.3 million trade. Oh, it doesn't save the old ones. Okay, well, it was about at 130, and it just shows the most recent big trades. Well, anyway, I saved it. It's right here. I thought it was a cool way to take a shot at earnings. Will candidate shot at bullish earnings report, Restoration Hardware. All it is looking for the expected move, which is right around 300. And even a little bit higher, and it can make, and this is per contract, it can make almost 3,000 a contract. There's only $600-700 worth of risk on it. Now, if it goes beyond it, it can lose a little bit. But anyway, they're hoping for they bet $1.3 million that it gets right up here. So like I say, this is just this is what it would cost to do one contract. I should have put the original trade in there, how big it was. It was like 1,500 by 3,000 or something. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna share that in case I did that. It should be anyway. If anyone's watching and knows how to do those kinds of trades, they've already done it. It's real easy. You just target the 300 strike. But I'll put it in here. All right, guys. So also I remembered this morning that I forgot to do the buffer report. So we should look at the buffer report first. So here in like the yield max buffer report, we looked at this. We looked at the index buffer, and we'll come back. But I stopped short of going here. I know there's people that like to look at what their yield max stocks are doing every day. Man, it was a great day for Tesla and Tesla. Coinbase. Look at Coinbase up 3%. Great day. NVIDIA. Well, NVIDIA, though, is actually the laggard of the group for some reason. NVIDIA kind of not doing well, but everything else looks really good. Babo's pulling back a little bit. Oh, well. All right, so let's look at the index buffer report. Okay, what are the standouts from right over here? It's this IVVW is killing it. What else do we have doing well? IWMI. Doesn't surprise me. It's a really nice CTF. YMAG and YMAX, of course. SEPI's doing great. ZVOL's killing it. ZVOL and SVOL are killing it. Okay, maybe that's a sign the sell-off is over. When those start killing it, it means volatility is just getting crushed. And they say volatility moves ahead of the market. Volatility doesn't seem to be too worried about whatever this announcement is whatever the announcement's going to be. Now, I'll turn it on whenever it comes on. I'm keeping an eye on it. But anyway, my inverse fund did bad today. Look at that. I lost 90 basis points. Let's see how my model portfolio did. Probably not very well because I usually do better in kind of a down market. Let's see. All right, model portfolio down 8 bips, but the market was up 34 bips, or even a 60-40 portfolio was up 12 bips. So I underperformed pretty bad today, and it's because of this 24% allocation to YQQQ. It was down it was down 66 basis points today. But luckily I had ULTY. ULTY almost made up for what YQQQ lost. And then I have GPTY at 0. How can it be 0? There's no way it's 0. It's showing today's change 0 on the day. I just don't even believe that. GPTY unchanged on the day. I guess we can go back and look at the GPTY version stuff, and that's kind of where I was going to go. Oh, gosh darn it, but I've weaved over here into this other lane. I just typed something that, oh no, there it is, GPTY. This is a good ETF, in my opinion. But you can't, don't look at the chart though. You just got to take my word for it. Trust me. I know it's not an auspicious start. It wasn't a great time to start roaring back. But is it really unchanged today? Are you kidding? I mean, right here it's showing it's up 43 basis points. So of course it's not unchanged. What in the heck is going on with Google Sheets? And this isn't Mac's problem. This is because the formula's in there. Sorry. You guys know what they did to me yesterday. You guys probably already know about this, but I have a little amount of SQY. Anyway, it changed symbols yesterday to XYZY, which is a cool symbol, but so was SQY. Anyway, it took me a while to figure it out, but it messed up all my spreadsheets. Okay, well now GPTY is showing up a little bit. I'll believe that. So now let's see. Now my account's showing up 1 basis point. But look at this. The SPY's up 74 bips. The SPY's not really on the highs of the day, but it's much closer to the highs than the lows. And it was definitely a good looking bullish day for the SPY. And so was yesterday, or so was Monday. So we'll see, though. I mean, it could all be undone with one announcement, right? All right, so I'm going to weave back over here to GPTY land. All right, so let's weave back over here to the Altiverse and see what's going on over here. There we have it, the Altiverse. Man, HIMS is disappointing today. Everything else looks nice, but not HIMS. Even GameStop was down a little bit, and Reddit even, but everything else was killing it. Alti's up 1.3 basis points. The average stock's up 2.5. All right, nice job, Alti. Now, GY is going to make me sick, I'm sure. It's going to make me sick to my stomach that I don't have some. Well, not so bad today, but yesterday it's up 4% or something. This thing's crazy. I mean, it has a good ticker. They do a good job picking these tickers, right? All right, LFGY. Well, the average stock's up a lot more than it, but still it pays a nice dividend. There's Square. Speaking of Square, up 5% today. Wow. All right, well, great job. Now let's look at this little GPTY verse. Wow, that's really impressive. Intel, Facebook, Google are the only things that are down, and just fractionally. And just because those are boomer companies. Everything else that's not a boomer company, well, Microsoft's a boomer company too, but anyway, and so's Apple, and so's AMD, and so's Amazon. But anyway, a lot of the other companies are up. All right. So that's a great look for GPTY. I knew GPTY wasn't unchanged on the day. According to this, it's up 1.28. Let's go back to the model portfolio. And let's see, it's up 1.28 GPT. This just shows it up 0.19. How can this be so bad? And I'm promise this is something internal with the Google's database. This isn't something I have messed up. But anyway, I guess by the end of the day, it'll catch up. So maybe in an hour it'd be right. But that's why I like to come on right close to the end of the day, just so we can kind of see the final damage. But yeah, it's just showing. Anyway, obviously I'll be doing a lot better. The model portfolio would be doing a lot better. I will say the GDXY was disappointing today because it's down 0.25 point. Fiat's down 2 points. Dips is down 1 point. Y-SPY is up a point. What do you guys think about these tariffs? Hey, what's up, Grateful Trader? Yeah, I'd be happy to. Let's see, what does Grateful Trader want me to do? Can you compare strategy, CRF, and C? Well, I don't know much about this Cornerstone. I mean, I don't understand this rights offering stuff. But anyway, but then I think that CRF's Cornerstone, but CSQ I've never heard of. Let's look into. I know okay, it does rights, okay, and so does CSQ. I don't know. But I'll tell you what is your friend on this is Grok. If you ever use Grok, let's just look at this. Awaiting President Trump's tariff announcements. We got 3 o'clock. The bell just went off. I'm going to turn up there's all the people clapping and smiling. Yeah, anyway. I'm going to hopefully turn it down where it won't bother you guys, but turn up where I can hear what they're talking about. If something big's going on, I can flip the screen over to it. But anyway, I was going to look at. So I was going to ask Grok. Okay, I don't know why Grok is so slow. But man, this thing's good. Although I'm over my limit, I need to get premium Grok. I will. I don't know if they have it yet, but I need to get it. And I have no idea if it's going to be any good or not. I just thought it'd be fun to try while we're waiting for this thing to talk. I mean, the press conference to talk. Please compare CRF, and I already forgot what it was. I'll just weave back into that lane. Yeah, CSQ. So I need to weaving from one lane to another, and CSQ. As far as strategy goes, you'll never have to watch my channel again once you learn this trick. If it works. I have no idea if it works, but it is pretty handy for other stuff. As far as strategy goes, and does CSQ have right? I'm exceeded my limit on deep searches, but I can just do a thing, which is like less of a, it's more like just basically like you probably don't need for this one. I was using it to do some research on some other stuff, but this Grok is your friend. And like I say, and I'm trying to kill time. Killing time is your friend also. Hey, Ethan, did you see that? Or Grateful Trader, did you see that that butterfly? It wasn't on Unusual Wells, but it was like it was a $1.3 million out of the money directional butterfly. I know you're a day trader and you mainly sling T triple Q and S triple Q or whatever around. But anyway, but for my option bros out there, should be interesting. I wonder if the Restoration Hardware earnings are out yet. We'll check. They probably are. It's coming out after the bell. I did it. I yellowed it. Yeah, when I saw somebody spending 1.3 million on it, I like the trade. If you miss, it's no big deal. You lose a little bit of money, but if you hit, you can make exponential, and it's right where it should go. Of course, should. It's right where the market. It's right where it's supposed to go. Let's just say that now. Number. All right, I need to shut down. Restoration Hardware, come on, Restoration Hardware. The other thing I like about it is Restoration Hardware is kind of, I don't have that strong of a feeling. and it's a $200 or $300 stock. So earnings trades are expensive. It looks like it's not moving. Post is 248. It's down $1. So maybe earnings aren't out yet. I guess we could have looked here too. This earnings hub is a really useful tool. And each other on the back. They have a bunch of union people there and American flag. Sorry about the lack of internet speed. I should have either gone outside and done the live stream or brought the Wi-Fi inside. My apologies. Or maybe closed a couple of tabs might have helped too. But anyway, I mainly just wanted to come on here and talk about the tariffs. Hey, I also found a Grateful Trader. I also found a potential will candidate. We're not talking a will candidate. I mean a will candidate for a person that doesn't have a big account. Somebody who's just starting out. So a stock like SoFi, that has a future. It may take a long time to pan out, but it's trading at 20, 30, but it could possibly be at 200 someday. I'm looking for those types of stocks. Well, in other words, so not Restoration Hardware. It's already would have been and I found one today. I didn't really find, I was just looking at something else. I think it might be a decent candidate. I saved it. We'll talk about that one in a second. Too. Let me see price. I mean, it looks like price is basically unchanged. So, the call's not till, the call's right now. The call's right now. So anyway, all right. Well, and no one's talking yet. Anyway, they're still inside the Oval, twisting arms or something, or having another Diet Coke. Everyone's looking around. But anyway, okay. So the live, it hasn't started yet. So that is what it is. But anyway, I'm going to go back for somebody that just joined. Here's some other ones. Here's right before the bell. Somebody sold a strangle. And then somebody else out there. These people are betting against it going anywhere. So let's look at this. Let's look at this trade. They're playing hell to the chief. Moving a little slow today. Kind of. Anyway, I'm sure it's fine. All right. All right, so yeah, this is a guy that this wouldn't have been a bad trade either. I mean, all you want is nothing to happen, and based on what's happened so far, it looks like this guy. Of course, the earnings aren't even out yet. I mean, the call hadn't even started. Anyway, but I found one that was it was a butterfly. It happened about 12:30. Somebody did a directional fly where they aimed for. It's right here. They did a directional fly where they aimed for 300 or 310, 300, make a couple $1,000 per contract. They did $1.3 million worth of these. I love directional butterflies. So I did it in real life and then came on here and showed it to everyone. Real quick, Trump's talking, but it's, let's, the will candidate I wanted to tell you about, Grateful Trader or potential one. I'll let you guys tell me. Maybe it's every time I find a will candidate. I found one the other day and told my friend about it, and he said that's a terrible company. He hated the company. But it had liquid options. It was cheap. I mean, it was under $50. It had liquid options. I forget exactly which one it was, but yeah, if you're going to do the will on it, it has to be something you want to own, obviously. So, RGTI. Oh, we'll check back to AI and see if they got our answer. But RGTI, it's Rigetti Computing or something. Oh, let me show it to you. Or has the right price, and it has liquid, and not only liquid, it has a highly priced liquid options. So I think it might be one that I'm going to put on the list. Grateful Trader's been helping me make a list of will candidates, or I'm trying to they're just giving me suggestions. If you guys have suggestions, put them there too. But like I say, for me, it's something under 50. And you don't want something that's like $2, but something, let's say, between 10 and 50. That's, that has some type of future ahead of it, possible future. It could even be an old company like Intel that is just now again cheap, but you could do a wheel with the smaller account. Anyway, yeah, so here it is. It's a good looking chart right here. It's long-term support. I mean, what's not to like about that one? I should have, instead of messing around with that earnings stock, I should have bought this one. And the thing about this one is it has really highly priced options as well. Anyway, I'm kind of neglecting my job here. Let's jobs and factories will come roaring back. I'm all about it. He's really. So I'm sure this is just formalization of all the stuff that's already been announced and leaked all day long. But you never know. So he might go off script. All right. So I guess I'll just pull up the after hours price of SPY. Wonder if Kid Rock's going to be there today. He's introducing people now. Okay, in post market, it's down a little bit. I mean, it's 0.7%. I'm most concerned about NASDAQ futures. Let's look at NASDAQ. Darn sure don't want this chart to revert to mean down here at 15. I mean, but I'm not saying it will, but it just but that's a daily time frame. That's a pretty long time frame. But I guess it's not out of the realm of possibilities, though. All right, here's 30-minute. I'm sorry, I should have had the short-term chart already out. I wanted to look at more long-term charts after the market closes, but today's kind of different because of the tariffs, and I wanted to see if futures are going crazy or anything, or what futures think about. All right, so now that is the longest, worst freaking content in the history of content. It's still going on, man. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. I don't know what's going on. I guess we'll go over to Grok and see if that answers there. All right, strategy comparison. Oh, that's that Calamos. Okay, well, I love Calamos. That tells me something right there. CSQ, Strategic Total Return Fund. All right. It says capital appreciation and current income. I don't know if it means option income or like, bonds and, stuff like that, convertible securities. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So that's fine. You got a CSQ. I thought did I not punch in? I punched in, gosh, I punched in CRF. Why is it telling me? They think CRF is a typo. They don't know that I'm looking for CRF Cornerstone. So that's the problem with I could type it all in again, but it took so long to get that far. Gosh darn it. But I'm going to say right now, if it's a strategic total return fund, no, they probably don't have a rights offering. And that's why I don't talk about Cornerstone that much. I don't understand the rights offering. I mean, I understand how it works, but I don't understand. I'm not in on the strategy. I don't. people that have been in that for years know the right time to do stuff. And it's like an insider's club that I'm not on the inside of. So, but yeah, so this one right here, I mean, strategic total return. I mean, nothing to do with options. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to know anything about it, but I can know it pays 7.5%. I mean, that's not bad. It's gone sideways over the past year. I mean, it's got killed its total return, but it's got murdered the past month. It's down from 18.50 to less than 16.50. That's $2 on 18. It's more than 10%, 12% or something. I guess that's not killed, but it's not. It could be doing better. Let's just say that. So I don't know, but comparing that and CRF, let's see if this pulls up CRF. Yeah, Cornerstone. I don't know why AI couldn't figure out CRF. It thought it wanted an ET. It's the fact that it's a closed-end fund. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, everyone likes this. And I mean, like I always quantify, I always say I don't know enough to talk about it that much. I just don't want to say anything, now in the post market, the SPY's up. I'm watching it on this other screen. SPY's loving what Trump's saying. I'll put this other screen up in a little while. But anyway, things are going better down here. All right. Okay. Cornerstone. What I was going to go with next is this one pays 17%, and the NAV's gone straight sideways over the past year. The other one paid 7%. NAV's gone straight sideways. The other one's down 10%. This one's down a little bit more. Honestly, this one's probably a little bit more volatile, but it pays twice as much. So there you have it. I would probably take the one that pays twice as much. But I don't, I don't know about Cornerstone and stuff. I would probably find something that paid 17% that did options that I was more comfortable with. Something like SVOL or something. That one's getting a bad name lately just because they've cut the dividend, but it's not their fault. They're harvesting excess risk premia that's available in the market, and that has not been available lately because of Trump made the term structure. Because after Trump's election, the volatility, really since last August, volatility's kind of been in a different, kind of a non-standard configuration anyway. But something like this will profit as volatility goes back to the good old days. At some point, the pullback will be over, and we'll be back into a mean reverting market. The tariff stuff will be over. The recession will be over at some point in the future. And when that happens, then at that point, then people start loving SVOL again. Like, oh, they just raised their dividend. These are just like a machine that just harvests what's available. But you could see, look, since August, this thing started sloping down. The chart doesn't go back further. Well, let's see. But I bet you before August, it sloped up or sloped sideways. The sloping down is not normal for this one. But we'll see. But it just all has to do with the way the term structured. VIX has just been jacked up lately. By jacked up, I mean high and elevated and just won't come down. So yeah, if you just look at kind of the longer term trend of this asset, the 200-day moving, the slope of the 200-day moving average, I guess you could also say it could get worse. I mean, look how bad this fund got killed back here in. Short volatility funds don't do well when the market pulls back. So you can always go in the chart where the market pulls back and say, watch out for this fund. That's what, they're designed not to do well when the market pulls back. When the market's steady, they should do well. So between 2023, 2024, this thing was steady as a rock. And then, the market started selling off, it sold off. So now the thing I would caution, ZVOL is a good one too. It just says 25% tariff on foreign-made autos at midnight. Ford's going by up 31 cents. I mean, I guess it's good for Ford. We'll see what happens whenever something else goes by. Anyway, what I would caution though, ZVOL is about twice as risky. If you like this kind of investment, ZVOL or SVOL, I would say SVOL just because Z-Vol pays twice as much, so that gives it twice as much potential issues with the NAV. But I mean, but this fund's done. Let's put it on daily. Now he's talking about all the tariffs that everyone else charges us, and I think the announcements are over, and I think he's just kind of riffing now. So the market, I'm showing that, yeah, the market loved it. The SPY closed at 564 after hours, is trading at 568.94. So we'll call it 569. Say it closed at 565. It was almost 565. So it's up 4 points after hours. And that's on something that costs $500. So that's what? That's 80 basis points. It's almost a 4% after hours. If you're a bull, hopefully by tomorrow it'll be a lot higher. So whatever he said, it's been they liked it so far. So well, that's fine. This could change the whole tide of the market around. Maybe we'll talk some more about that in a second. But anyway, but yeah, Z-Vol and S-Vol, they aren't for everybody. I think they're interesting. And, they didn't do well. I'll say this, they didn't do well in August. Look at this one. But we follow them every day. They're on the buffer report every day. So we talk about it. And they've really never recovered. Now, this chart doesn't factor in their dividends. With dividends, they've definitely recovered. This thing makes hella money. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at Z-Vol versus S-Vol, or Z-Vol versus SPY, or we'll do Z-Vol versus S-Vol first. I will say, though, that Victoria came out. She's an influencer that covers, she has really pretty eyes. And she covers a lot of these funds. And she came out a long time ago and said that they're cutting she said they're cutting their, which, and I guess they do because they control how much they pay. And when they see things getting bad, they cut their thing. But anyway, she was all over it, and she wanted people to get out. But yeah, if that was a concern to you, and 13 isn't enough, if you really needed that, 19 instead of 30, you used to pay like 20, but if you really needed that extra, it's good to keep listening to her, because she's been all over that one. I'm just saying, at some point in the future, these will fall back into favor again. And there's nothing wrong with them, I don't think. It's just Z-Vol, just more risky. Okay, so look at this. So this is just the past year. This is April 1st last year to April 1st this year. So this is 1 year. So Z-Vol's price went from 22 to 15, but they made $5 dividends. Went from 22 to 15, but they made $5.33 dividends. So they lost 6 points. S-Vol went from 22 to 18, so they didn't lose quite as much NAV, but they didn't pay as high of a dividend. That's the thing. The dividend is the NAV loss. That's what depletion is. And sure enough, their depletion's right there. Instead of dividends collected per share, it could also say depletion. It's the same thing. But anyway, total return, so it's a little better. All right, let's go back to market's still doing well. Let's go back another year before that, or let's go back to 2020. I think one of these has been around a few years. We'll go back, see how far back will let us go. Okay, so this is a pretty stark difference. On this is Z-Vol, and Z-Vol takes extra risk, but you can see it paid off during the bull market. Now you can see there's a date here that Z-Vol topped out, and I'm going to say it's July, because I just know, because I remember in real life when all this changed, because I started coming on here and telling people to buy puts. It was last August, and then I thought the election was going to crash the market, and I was wrong about that, thank gosh. But in any event, this thing, Z-Vol, does great when the market is doing great. But it made a high in August and hasn't been back since. Now, if you look at S-Vol, it made a high in August, but it has gone a little bit higher, and it's because they don't pay you as much. So since they don't pay you as much, it doesn't tax the NAV is hard. So, but if you really need that extra money or something, I guess that's fine. But be aware your NAV's going to get hit pretty hard. All right, so let's go look at the market. Where Grok was a total bust today, or just it was faster and easier and better just to look at it myself. I mean, this is a bust too. I mean, I could see that it's up here. I could see that it's above today's high, but I want to. It's like pulling teeth to get it to move. So, I mean, I could see also what it's trying to do. And yesterday it fell out of this higher range, or it fell out of this range. 2 days ago, it was in this higher range, fell into this medium range, and then fell down here into this. And I was afraid it's going to get stuck down here. But now the bulls are trying to take it and get it back up here to one of these higher ranges. But this is good for the market. We're out of the previous day's range. So whatever he's saying is being perceived well. If we can hold this all night and then open in the morning and we're still out of the previous day's range, that's another great sign for bulls. That's another great sign for bulls. But then at that point, hang on. Well, Restoration Hardware is down 17%. So that trade did not go well. Gosh darn it. You got to be kidding me. Anyway, it's fine though, because it's because at least I didn't buy the stock. It's limited loss, $500-$600 loss. No big deal. If I would have hit it, it would have made, $2,000. Yeah, Restoration Hardware is trading at 206, down $42. Bitcoin's up 2%, so Bitcoin's loving whatever he's saying. Oh, and here's a way to look at it where it says post-market. You could see, 476 pre-market. Boy, that's a big jump. It just went from 480 to 478. But in any event, America. But so here's the next thing. On the Qs, I think they're trying to get it up here to this 490 area. Okay, now that would be great for bulls. But the true test is to get it back through the election gap and get it on the other side of the election gap. The magic number for that is 500. And now he's holding up a chart and showing reciprocal tariffs. So it says China 67, then it says US 34. I guess he's showing that we're reciprocating with half or something. Japan has us at 46. We have them at 24, which is not half of 46, but India has us at 52. We have them at 26. Now, they got half right that time. South Korea, 50, 25. Thailand, 72 and 36. Good job. Switzerland, 61 and 31. They missed half again. My gosh. What is happening? It's because they closed the Department of Education. It's all their fault, right? It's Trump's fault. Gosh darn it. It's under in the post market. But anyway, this is kind of illiquid. Let's go back to futures. I don't think that ETFs trade that liquidly after hours. We'll go back to stock index futures. Either that or this chart he's holding up is freaking people the heck out. And that could be too. Cambodia has us at 97%, and we have them at 49%. United Kingdom's 10%, and we have them at 10%. So we've doubled United Kingdom compared to everyone else. We're just going to match them tit for tat. Everyone else is half. And I probably don't understand the chart. It has to do with reciprocal tariffs. I've told you what I thought about tariffs yesterday. Don't even get me started. Okay, well, on here, stock index futures are they're right there, 19,929. They're killing it up. We're up 1.6. So
cars, little items like cars. 46%, we're charging them 24%. India, very, very tough. Very, very tough. The prime minister just left. And he's a great friend of mine, but I said, you're a friend of mine, but you're not be treating us right. They charge us 52%. You have to understand, we charge them almost nothing for years and years and decades. And it was only 7 years ago when I came in, we started with China in charge, and we took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China.
Oh, you guys get the idea. All right. Well, anyway, all I care about, as long as the market's up, that's all I care about. Like I say, and even the market's up, it could be total dead cat bouncing. This news, in the grand scheme of things, could be and probably is terrible. So, but we'll know what the market thinks about this when we get to the election gap. When we get back to it, it's on my other charts. It's more prominently featured on my other charts. So. What do you guys think about tariffs? Are you guys for tariffs? You guys tariff people? I'm just joking. I'm not trying to get a fight started. I'm just not for tariffs. I mean, I'm a free trade guy. I want to be able to trade free. You know how much money it made people that have Walmart stock. NAFTA made people that have Walmart. I mean, anyway, I know it had bad side too, but anyway. Yeah, I know 6 people watching. Hell yeah, who knows? Dan, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Grateful Trader. Let's do a breakdown of the will and what makes a good candidate in simple terms. Yeah, we need to. But the thing is, the will's different. So it's subjective. Well, heck, now we only have 4 people watching. There were 6 a while ago. I never even looked at the count. It doesn't even bother me. It'd bother me if there was less than 2 watching or something. But anyway, as long as Dan's here and Grateful Trader's here, that's all I care about. But Grateful Trader, tell you the truth, it may be and it probably is, it's different for different people. The will, to me, I looked at the will as a source of income. I'm trying to financialize the will. When I do it, I sell a put spread, and I do a synthetic will. So, I look at it more as an opportunity to make money this week, selling something that's more expensive than it should be and buying something that's cheaper than it should be and making money off the difference. Jesus, look at Newsmax is down 178 points. Holy cow. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Who knows? Maybe old G-Ball had some Newsmax stock or something. Anyway, but and can you imagine working for Newsmax all your life? It's a little company, never done it. I mean, it was 5 years ago, it was nothing. I mean, you worked there since the beginning, and then they have an IPO. And I assume that, some of the main people that work there, they get part of their salaries, they get the IPO. And then you get the IPO and it does something like it did yesterday. And all of a sudden, you have, there's no telling, even with it down so much today, the guys that were in on the IPO, I think it came public at 10. Let's look at it real quick. I think it came public at 10 and it's freaking, it's at 50. I just saw it at 50. Now it's down $172 a share at 50. So, it's, all right. Yeah, look at, oh my gosh, dude, 260 at the highest yesterday. Yeah, it looks like it was at, what's the lowest? It's hard to see. It's, what's the low there? Low's 36. So no, it wasn't 10. The lowest someone got it was 36. And that first 30-minute bar was between 36 and 73. So some people probably paid 73, but the people that got it, that worked there, are probably still all right. But man, that's something else. I'm looking forward. This one, though, is probably going to turn into, I'm betting it's going to be like DJT, where it's like a meme stock, kind of like a GameStop kind of thing. And hopefully when they do get options, they'll have overpriced options that are, I was trying to say perennially overpriced, always overpriced options. And it'll make a good candidate for ULTY. You notice DJT's in ULTY. And that's what I'm talking about more when I'm talking about the will. You wouldn't want to put DJT in the will, but the DJT would work for the will the way I do it. I just want something to I'm just trying to financial. I don't need the stock. That's why I do a synthetic will. I'm not trying to get the stock. If I get the stock, I'm just trying to do the will synthetically. Anyway, but so what I was saying, so for me, it makes it, because I'm trying to do it synthetically, it makes the stocks that work for the way I want it, for what I'm looking for, may be different than the ones for you guys. Grateful Trader, I assume you're pretty young, or I think you've told me you are. So, you're doing the will, and you're probably hoping to get some of these stocks to hang on to. I'm just looking for a stock to sell, to do a poor man's cover call on for week after week after week after week, and just trying to financialize the transaction. I don't care so much about I have plenty of index funds and stuff. I'm not looking for more stocks. So it's different for me. So really, so now that I've said all that, really the things that are perfect for me, and I don't use this one, I need to maybe just start looking at things like this. Soxhole. Overpriced options, super liquid, tons of action. It'll do well in a bull market and poorly in a bear market. But ones like this because it's not really a stock. You don't want that. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to own that necessarily because of all the decay, but the decay from the leverage. But it makes a nice poor man's cover call candidate, because you can make it's the same thing that look at it this way. TSYY is a good fund from Granite Shares. They sell options on TSLL, right? TSLL, I'm trying to make the point, not something you're going to want to buy and hold, and give to your kids. You aren't going to frame it, and put it on a wall or something. But you can use its options every week to make an income. And I don't know if you can or I can, but I'm saying there's a fund that's out there doing it, TSYY. I'm saying in theory, there's no guarantees, but in theory, a person that knows what they're doing, and especially if the market will cooperate, they need the market to go up, but they can sell puts every week. They need Tesla stock to go up. It can't just go down forever, but they can sell puts every week and make some pretty good income. Now, ooh, look at this. Let's look at this real quick. Let's compare TSYY, which uses leverage to sell options, and let's compare it to the TSLY. TSYY and TSLY. I mean, that's ugly on TSLY's part. I mean, and here's the other, here's the other thing here's the other thing to consider. TSLY pays $3 on $9. Just this one pays $4 on 13. I guess it's about the same now that I'm looking at it. It's roughly the same. Okay. Well, that makes it okay. So, but if that's true, if we have two assets that are the same yield, then I'll tell you which asset I would rather own, and that's TSYY. If it's true, the yield's the same. I have a feeling the yield might actually be higher on TSLY, and that might account for the difference. But if the yield's the same, and just eyeballing it, it looks like it might be close, then maybe the TSYY may be onto something special. Does anyone have TSYY? I do not have any of it. I do not have any of it. In fact, the other day I was thinking about getting some crash. I was thinking about crash, but now he's taking questions. The questions is when it can really go off the rails. I'm showing the post market on the Qs is on the spiders is way down. I mean, there's no way this is right. That's got to be a bad print. That's got to be a bad print. Anyway, bad day for Newsmax. Let's go back to NASDAQ futures. Yeah, he said something. He freaking, or something. Those reciprocal tariffs did it when he held up the chart or something. That's when I noticed. You got to be freaking kidding me. He applied a 20% tariff to the European Union, 24% to Japan. Anyway, okay. Well, it could turn. He could say something the next minute. It could turn back around. So we shall see. We shall see. But that is that's not good. That may, if that stays till the morning, that's going to leave a mark. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, Charles, how are you doing here? Charles he knows all about the will. Don't do it on a stock that you want to get called away. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Charles is watching the same thing. I didn't believe it. I was watching that on my iPad. I have the cues on my iPad, and I was like, it's got to be a bad print. And then I have the NASDAQ up here, but then we started talking about Newsmax because what's his name came in here and probably a Newsmax. Anyway, so I got weaved over to the Newsmax lane. Anyway, and sure enough, I mean, I guess I could play it and we could just listen to what he's saying and stuff, but I don't know. What's Charles saying? Biggest drop after hours. Yeah, I mean, in years. I mean, is it that big of a drop? I mean, it is pretty big. My computer's just running like dog crap. I'm just going to look at it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, holy cow. Okay. Well, you got to be kidding me. I mean, how much is futures down? Futures is down 1.2%, but okay. But cash was from 476 to 461. I'm calling the index. I'm calling the Q's cash. It's not, but that's more than, obviously that's 3%. So 3%. Well, no, that's because these are delayed. Gosh darn it. All right. Well, that sucks. That sucks. I hate to see it. A lot of people that I'm talking to in Discord are fully hedged. I don't know if he said I could talk about his account, but he hedged the other day, somebody that's in our Discord. But so hopefully people have seen this coming, and to the extent they can, kind of like I did, did what they could to try to get some of the damage aside. How are you going to do, Charles? Or do you have any short positions? I made a restoration hardware play today. I have 2 puts that I've been rolling for a couple of weeks. But anyway, and then I have, I made a restoration hardware play that's going to be a full loser, like $800 or something. Well, I wish I would have. I mean, my rolled puts are going to be all right, but I mean, obviously, but it's whatever. It's whatever. I just want this thing to find a. Okay, let's look for a place for this to bounce because. Yeah, because this will undercut the last low, a gap this big, unless it's filled right away. But I mean, it's going to be pretty ugly. So I'm trying to think here. I'm going to pull up a chart of the Qs and let's see how far. Where do you think we're going to end up, Charles? Where's the next stop? Or where's the final stop? Or the next stop? I was looking at. I have a couple of places I'm looking at on the SPY and the Qs. It's just taking forever. Yeah, look at that. You can see that right there. There's the close, 475. There's the post-market action, 460. So where it is, it would open almost under Friday's or Monday's low. You know, where Monday we had a big gap down too. We're trying to gap lower than that. It'd be bullish, somewhat bullish if we didn't gap past it. I mean, but it's going to be ugly in the morning, man. That is going to be ugly. But you never know, though. Last time there was no sellers down here, though. There's people were happy to buy it. Now, will they be happy to buy it down here again tomorrow in the morning? We'll see. We shall see. It's got to clear this orange area is the do or die. That's what I'm looking at. When we get on the other side of that, I'll change my tune. But oh yeah, as far as where we might go, there's a lower gap down here there's a couple of them, 437 and 430 even. I forget what month they came from. I just looked. I think from after the August pullback there, or no, I take that back. They're right there. Yeah, those come from August. Those are the August lows. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. That is the August lows. The higher one is where we blew out of there and left a gap or a fair value gap, and the lower one is the actual lows. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know. Do you think we'll get all the way there? Or who knows? It could be all fake news. They could buy this right up tomorrow, and we could be back in this trading range too. We're also trying to build out a trading range here. We are building a trading range out at 475 or so. Let's see what Charles says. Charles says, I think we recover half of the sell-off overnight into the open, and then that's the place to sell. And then that still leaves behind overhead supply. And I don't know, but if you're a day trader, maybe. Okay, Charles is killing it with dips. I have a little bit of dips, and I'm just nervous about it just because I love NVIDIA, but it's doing bad lately. That's awesome that you got dips your biggest position and a VIX sold put spread, bought call spread the other day. So you did a VIX, you sold it. It's a risk reversal, right? I mean, with spreads, defined risk defined. I love that kind of trade. Or you can look at it that way. Your put spread's financial call spread, and that's awesome. All right. Charles says, I like VIX reversal vol plays, selling an out of the money put spread to finance an out of the money call spread for a small credit. I love that right there. That's the three-leg. That's my risk. That's the same philosophy I use all the time anyway, as you know. Ladder trades under 1 month. Anyway, that's awesome. And I really like the thing you're doing with dips. I mean, because you own dips, which is bearish on the market. So the market goes down, dips does great, and it pays you a pretty good. It pays like it pays a pretty good yield. So that gives you some money. And if the market goes down, that gives you some NAV return. But then you're selling bullish put spreads on the Qs to hedge it. I mean, that's great. And I know you're doing something else too, and I always forget what it is. But yeah, I love those types of plays. I love arbitrage you can do at home. The old days, you used to have to be a banker or, or have a seat on the exchange. But now that they made commissions free, I know they aren't really free. I know there's still hidden cost in there and stuff. But now that there's commissions are free, you can do arbitrage type stuff, and it's fun. And Charles is all over it. Yes, let's check out GRNY and its holdings. Let's look at that real quick. I think we looked at that the other day. GRNY and its holdings. I need to get this. This new Defiance Fund is going to be awesome. I need to get this report out. I've done all kinds of back tests, and I just cannot. I just haven't got around to releasing the reports yet. Futures are coming back. It's still pretty ugly, though. Still down. I'm looking at about 3.5%, 4% lower on cues right now, but it's kind of moving back in the last few minutes. All right, so Granny, so I mean, even as good as this is and as blue chippy as this is, it lost 10%. Or, I mean, the market pulls. Well, my point is, when the market pulls back, there's nothing. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do. Before there was inverse funds, or unless you know how to trade put, unless you want to buy puts and hedge it directly. Sometimes you just kind of have to take it. Hope you have good stocks that'll bounce back, and that's the idea with this. So Granny's holdings it's all good stocks. Look, Progressive. So look at that stock right there, cup and handle kind of, or a cup. Anyway, but that's a good looking chart. S&P Global, that's a good company. Abbott Labs, they must not be in the vaccine business because they'd be down. Garmin, Bank of New York Mellon, Bunny, Apple, AMD, Microsoft, Caterpillar, and Costco. Look at Costco, man. Costco. Maybe if Costco's leading the way, then the market should be fine. Oh, no. What in the hell? I didn't know. Man, yeah. VGT, which is Vanguard Growth Fund, is down $11 right now. There you can see at 463. There's the post market. I don't know why I won't just draw the bars. I think I don't have it checked right or something. All right. Well, it's not like everyone doesn't already know this isn't a great company. Every time I interview Jay, somebody asks me to ask Jay, why don't they put this one in Yield Max? Man, this thing's running poorly tonight. And did they finally put it in Yield Max, or they put it somewhere? I saw it. I think you can get it on Yield Max as part of another fund or something now. But man, this thing's incredible. Look at this huge gap they left behind, and it didn't. That's bullish. That's bullish because it's been open multiple days. That's been open since about a week or something. But the bad news is they left behind this bearish gap over here that there could well be sellers up there. If we get up there over 1,000 or whatever, might find sellers. But man, that was it's been behaving well. So hopefully that means Costco's right, and that means good news ahead for the market. That's try to like to look at the good side. Guys, I appreciate y'all for being here. This has been a 1 hour live stream. I'm going to get out of here and go do some other stuff. I'll be back in the morning, but we could talk in Discord. Let's hit me up in Discord if you want to. On Granny, I don't know. I mean, let me think about that. So on Granny, I mean, what I'm looking for right now is I already have enough growth. So what I'm looking for is income. So, I mean, Granny doesn't, it's not the one that excites me. I like stuff like Y-Spy. I'll tell you the one I'm thinking about getting that I haven't got that's growth. I'm not against growth, but is VYLD. Let's pull up old VYLD. Nothing wrong with growth, but yeah, nothing wrong with Granny. I'm not, just VYLD. This is a VIX-based fund, but they don't pay a yield, but they short VIX and they turn it into NAV performance, and they don't give you any money, so you can't. This one has no depletion. I always say that every fund has depletion, but I usually qualify every fund that pays a dividend. The dividend is the depletion. But anyway, this is one that it is. I know it's too new to tell. It hasn't done anything yet. Let's just see if it has any assets. Now somebody's already sold it. Look at that. Gosh darn it. It had some assets under management, but somebody came in and sold a bunch of it. Exercise some options or something. Well, in any event, I did a review on this. You can go look. I did a review on this. It should be interesting. We're going to watch it. This one should be like SVOL. It does the similar type strategy as SVOL, but unlike SVOL, it's not going to pay you 13 or 19 or 20 or whatever. It's not going to pay you anything. So you can't. So if it goes down, you can't blame it on depletion. It's just the market going down. You know, a bullish fund can't. If the market goes down and a fund's bullish, it's going to be a problem. This is a bullish fund. The market's gone down, so there was a problem. But you don't have to give yourself an extra problem by choosing a bullish fund. That if you have a bullish fund that pays a really high dividend and the market goes down, then you have two problems, because the really high dividend, they've already given you part of the profits, and then the market pulled back. And anyway, you guys know, you've been there before. I've been there last month on AMD. It freaking sucks. I hate it, guys. But yeah, on Granny, not for me. Probably VYLD. And really what I really want is more T-SPY. And I probably will add some triple QY back in also. And I think you'll see why when you look at my back test and look at I looked at their new method, and the back test is incredible. I mean, on what they're doing, it's something I think a lot of people, I'm not just saying this, it's something I think a lot of people in my room will be interested in. I think they've reversed engineered the covered call index fund, the daily covered call index fund for maximum everything. Kind of like Roundhill, frankly. Roundhill pays a gigantic dividend, but it still has a gigantic amount of NAV appreciation, considering how high of a dividend they pay. So I think they've tried to reconstruct that, and they've tried to. That's what it seems like to me. But on this back test, and this is just for the past year, this shows them beating buy and hold. But I went back to 2013, and the strategy that is in the prospectus beats buy and hold by almost double all the way back to 2013. So, but it's not perfect. There's issues with the strategy also, but we'll talk about that on my review show, which is coming up soon. Maybe I'll go shoot it as soon as I get out of here. All right, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. I hope no one bought Newsmax. And anyway, I'm just joking. And I hope these tariffs don't mess us up too bad. This really freaking pisses me off, or makes me upset. But there's no reason for the market to be doing. Why is the market doing this? I was just trying to show it really quick. It's still down about $14 in the post market. All right, guys, take care. Have a good day. See ya.